Okay, hi, welcome. I am Nikki Barber, and this is Jess or Jessica.
Hi.
We are just two women who just love health and wellness, and we met in a group container program, and we just been like cheering each other along the way. So we just wanted to hop on and have a conversation and just share our health and wellness knowledge. And if any of this is helpful, then amazing. And then just hopefully we have so much fun doing this that we can come back and do it again. So I just real quick will introduce myself. I am Nikki Barber. I'm an RN and I'm a functional health coach, and I help women 40 plus who have been told countless times that they everything's normal but they totally feel like shit. So I do that by helping people uncover with testing, functional testing, and going over massive amounts of history. And then we rebalance, we build, we get their results, we build from there, and then we restore. So we build a program that's specific to you, that's sustainable, and that it can be maintained for long term because I am tired of the yo yo dieting that we've all been trained to do. So that is my quick intro, and I would love to introduce Jess, and so she can share what her thoughts are.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jess. I am from New Jersey. I basically help, just like Nikki does, I help a lot of women that are between 35 and older basically find structured supplementation to help them with a lot of the things that they're struggling with. Because what I've realized is there are just a long list of things that we're given as women to do in order to try to feel our best. And honestly, I didn't know that I was really struggling until I was. Like, I thought everything was normal. I blamed everything on just having kids and being busy and maybe not taking care of myself 100% because I was always taking care of everybody else first. But then realizing once you structure your approach and make it easy, things just kind of fall into place. And so now I'm like kind of like everybody else's cheerleader to show them that they can also do that. And things don't have to be as overwhelming as we tend to make it for women who have children and lives and families. We tend to just think we have to do so much. And sometimes when we make it more simplistic, it gets a lot easier for our lives. And that's what I've been doing probably for the last year and 3 months now. And I love it. I love connecting with people, and I love having them feel their best because I feel amazing. And a lot of people have seen that change in me. And I want everybody to feel just as great as I do.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. I love that very much. I was just thinking while you were saying that last bit, it's like, yeah, you must feel good to be doing, what is that, 75 hard again?
Yeah. So I had to start over again. I was at day 41 and I forgot for anybody who hasn't done that. It's a very structured, it's really more of a mental challenge, but there's a whole long list of things that you have to do. And if you forget to do one, you're supposed to start over again. And I forgot to do the littlest minuscule thing, which was take a progress photo. And I was on day 41 and now I'm on day, I think 24 now again. So
Oh my God.
but looking at my notes, I'm like, oh, I did leg day today. I'm doing it again.
Oh my God, that is nuts. Yeah. Wow. Well, good for you. And I'm glad you're feeling well about that. So, I'd love to start off with, what got you into it in the first place. And it sounds like we kind of started with that. Like, it sounds like you were a mom just trying to put it together. Do you want to go off of that? And do you think you've touched on that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was always struggling with my sleep. It would be like I'd be so tired at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd be grabbing a coffee or grabbing a Red Bull, making it through the day, knowing at 10 o'clock that I was going to want to go to sleep, and I'd go to sleep at 10 o'clock. But what would happen is at midnight or 1 o'clock, my mind. I actually posted a reel about this recently. My mind would be like flooded with things and I'd be up for the rest of the night and then I'd be tired yet again the next day. And that was probably one of the main things that I struggled with, along with I had chronic shoulder pain and knee pain from a previous injury that I had. And I'm not one who takes over the counter anything. I just kind of dealt with it. And I struggled because I had doctors telling me I needed surgery, and I am scared of the hospital, of doctors, like not like in general, but just something going wrong or, them cutting off my leg instead of my arm, something like that. Um, I'm a little crazy like that. But so I just dealt with it. It wasn't too intense that I couldn't deal with it on a daily basis, but I didn't want to do surgery. And it wasn't until I started my structured approach, like my shoulder pain went away in 4 days.
Wow.
I have not needed surgery. I haven't needed to make any modifications in my workouts anymore. I can do push ups, like things that I wasn't able to do before. So that's been amazing. And I think my moodiness, I think a lot of women can agree that they pop off at their kids and their husbands for the dumbest reasons. And then they go in the bathroom shower and they're like crying because they feel like terrible people. And they know that it's stress or whatever hormones, everything's raging, but you feel terrible and you continue to apologize and you don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're like, they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
breathing wrong.
Yeah. I totally, I feel that one lately. So I totally understand with that. Yeah. Yeah. So since you've started with all of this, it sounds like things have been better for you.
A
Maybe
hundred, a
pain is
hundred
bad,
percent,
the
a
energy's
hundred
better, you're
percent.
not crying in the shower anymore.
I'm not, well, it depends on like the time of the month. But yeah, I mean, I'll still cry, but I'm definitely not popping off as much as I used to. And what I didn't expect is my children and my husband have seen such a change. And I'm able to incorporate what I do with my whole family because it's not only just a structured approach for myself, but I'm able to give my whole family, the same regimen that I do on a daily basis. And I've seen a change in my daughter who's 12. She's a football player. She's a softball player. She has such energy. She's gained about, I'd say, 15 pounds. She's got muscles like crazy. And my little one would always have, I wouldn't say behavioral issues, but she had hard times regulating and she would get really anxious when we had to do a test or she didn't understand how to do certain things. And I slowly realized that that wasn't happening as often. And the more research I did on what I was taking, I realized a lot of it was what I was giving her that
Mhm.
really had this positive effect. So now she'll just go in the fridge. The problem is she'll go in the fridge and she'll take it and then I'm empty and then I don't have it for myself and then I wonder why I'm crying in the shower again.
Oh,
but but it's been not only just for myself but for my family, and just seeing great benefits with that. And I think that's a lot of things that we struggle with is I was a very healthy eater. I wasn't really doing ultra processed foods, so I thought I was okay. And going to the doctor and getting my blood work back, and they were like, everything looks normal. I that's all I could go with. Everything looks normal. Everything is normal. So I was like, okay, well, this my feeling, my I guess moodiness, my depression, my ups and downs, the fact that I couldn't sleep at all. Like, I guess that's normal. I'm a mom. I'm over 40. This is normal.
it's
And
not.
it's right, it's not. But and I think nowadays when we have these kind of conversations, whether it's on social media or just with your girlfriends, we're realizing more and more now it's not normal. And I never talked about it with my girlfriends. I was having, chips and guac and margaritas, and we were talking about, a Netflix show. We're not talking about our gut health and my shoulder pain. Like, who wants to talk about that?
Yeah. And they were probably connected, which is even cooler. So, wow, that's awesome and good for you. I'm so glad you're feeling and doing better. So, and that your family is benefiting it as well. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I guess I would go and say that the reason that I got into coaching in the first place is I've always wanted to help people. Was a medical assistant right out of high school, and then I moved to New York, and in New York, you medical assistants can't do much here. Like we can, but I wanted to do more. And then I became a nurse because I thought that's what I needed to do. But in the process of becoming a nurse and working with patients, I was doing something called wellness visits at the health center. So it's like the Medicare population would come in, they would see me, I would sit and I would have conversations with these people, and over and over and over again, they would be telling me, I just don't feel good and everything's right. I just don't feel good. And all my normal, like my labs are all normal. And I would see these people like walk out, and it's like breaking my heart. And I didn't even, like, I saw it before, but then once I was actually in the room physically with them and hearing their stories, it's like, oh my God. And can I just pause and tell you how many women have GI issues? And it's amazing how undiagnosed, like I want to say almost inconsiderate, but how many of us have struggled with our GI and that. I So I saw all of that. And then I started with symptoms. And I kept being told my labs were normal, and I felt like shit, and I looked like shit, and I just, like, the crying in the shower totally resonated with that. The 30 pounds of back fat that came, like, where the hell did that come from?
And
Like,
why is it on our back? Why can't it be somewhere where nobody sees it?
right? Like, what the fuck? Like, sorry for the language, but it's like, where did that come from? And it's just like, it was like a light switch. It happened overnight. So here I am in the medical profession, working along these doctors, having these same complaints as all these other women and getting nowhere. It was heartbreaking and defeating and frustrating. So I'm like, the hell with it. I went and I got more education, and now I can do my own damn test. So
Right,
it's like,
right.
the hell with you guys. And I jokingly say that because I know how important medicine still is. I mean, I'm still technically working bedside, just to help keep things flowing. So now that I'm in the thick of it, now that I've been able to run my own test, I had tons of bacteria in my gut. I had, staph and strep and a small amount of H. pylori. I didn't have to treat that, but I still tried to knock it down. We could go into the weeds about H. pylori because some people don't believe in it. Some people think you need to treat your whole family, and it's like, holy crap. And then the next best test that I did was I did a hair tissue mineral analysis test. I tested, they call it the HTMA test. And my minerals were wiped out because I was so stressed. I was
Yep.
so depleted. I was a slow oxidizer through and through. And your minerals are like your little spark plugs. So once you got those like up and running, it was amazing. So like the energy is slowly definitely coming back. Definitely in the thick of perimenopause. So trying to work through all of that as well. But now I get to help other people do it. And now I help to get like answers for people and point them in the right direction. So
And
yes.
I think that's what's so great about connecting like with people like you and like-minded people, because that's really what we want to do. That's not my profession. 9 to 5. I'm an administrator in a school district. I mean, I ultimately help, the district with their finances and everything, but I don't get that one-on-one interaction where I leave my job and say, wow, I really made a huge impact. And now I do. Now I get to say that part-time right now. I'm making huge impacts on my clients and their families. And like, I always thought I had another purpose, a better purpose, more of a passion for something. This is it. I've lost way too many people in my family to cancer, and that's probably one of the main things for me is when I started feeling really good last year. um I was just like, I was a client. I was of my friend who just decided to tell me about this company. And as soon as I started feeling better, in my head I'm thinking, wow, like if my parents were still alive, I would be giving them this whole entire regimen.
Right.
Like the hell with the weed cookies and all the other BS I gave them just to make them feel like they think they could eat. Like I wanted to now give them something that would have maybe prolonged their life or actually healed them from the inside, as opposed to just popping off a little like weed cookie for my dad so he had like enough to eat a cucumber or something later on. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just it feels really good when I have a bad day to come home to text messages and emails from clients to say, this is working. My son slept for the night. My daughter's not raging anymore. Her acne's cleared up, or I'm feeling like myself again. Because I'm not a doctor. I don't have that background. But I do know the products that worked for me, and I do know how to show people how to use them. And it's no different than recommending like a Netflix movie to watch or something like that, right? It's like, this might work for you, it might not. But if it does,
Yay.
wow, you're going to be feeling a whole lot better, because I struggled for so long just thinking it was normal. And why have somebody else struggle for, 6 months, 3 weeks, a week, 3 days, if they could be feeling amazing and get their life back?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
It's just,
that's exactly what I think both of us want, is just to help people feel better and to live the life that they want to live and not have to be, I might spin off here, but there's so much talk about food noise these days, and just like the drama inside our head of what to eat, what not to eat, what to exercise, what not to do. So it's just like having that foundation probably makes just life just so much easier. So yeah.
Absolutely. And a little bit of what you said too about that you were so stressed that I don't think people realize stress and lack of sleep and all that stuff depletes your body of nutrients just organically because it needs to take all of that to make almost to regulate you back to half-assed normal, right? I didn't realize that. I thought like if I didn't sleep, okay, the next day I'd catch up on my sleep, but I didn't realize that how much of an impact it really does have on you as a whole.
Yeah.
So even if you're a healthy eater, at some point, if you're not eating enough, and most moms don't because they're eating like, a half of an apple and somebody else's banana or whatever, if you're not focusing on that, and sometimes, and I'm not saying everybody needs to, but I think supplementation is very important because of that, because we are so stressed, we work longer hours, we're stressed out with everything else because they're all involved in sports and we're driving all over God's creation now. I don't know why we do that to ourselves. That was stupid. But we're stressed out. So our bodies are like, can you please give us more? And we're like, well, here's a half an apple that my kid didn't finish. And here's some spinach because, this book told me to eat it. It's still not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Okay, so there's so much that I really want to like spin off on here. So the first thing is women don't eat enough. You're absolutely right, and we need to be protein heavy, like a minimum of 30 grams at each meal. So yeah, number one. And if you're not tracking, how do you know how much you're getting? Which is people hate that, but it's like the easiest thing you can do, and it's almost shocking to see that you're not eating enough. So that was the first thing. What you just talked about with supplementation is like our food sucks now. So you're right. You could be eating the healthiest, but there's like two thought processes that I have here. So our food is not cooked. It's not made the way it used to be. Our soil sucks. Our everything's got pesticides on it. Our animals have antibiotics in it. So it's like our food is very different now than it was 50 years ago. So absolutely that there is a very good reason why supplementation does matter. And then the other thing that is slowly slipping away because of my brain fog. Oh shit, what was it? It was so important.
Sounds like
What was it? So the food is important, not eating enough. Oh shit,
rest,
what's that?
rest.
Oh, rest is so important. Rest and the sleep. No, it was about food and just body and just life. Oh no, it was the stomach. I'm so glad I came back. Because it's important. So there's something like the first thing I just started off was talking about protein, right? But if you're dealing with histamine issues or gut issues or any other, like you have some really weird symptoms and you're eating the cleanest protein and you're not getting anywhere, you're not seeing improvements, your body could actually not be using that. It could be making you actually worse because somebody who's got leaky gut or something like that. Those are just sipping right through and just like causing inflammation throughout your body. So it's like, okay, so yeah, you could have the cleanest diet, but if your gut is a mess from the years of stress and the years of not sleeping, then we have a bigger foundation that we have to work on here. And that's where things get like exciting in my world. Like I don't mean to be excited about it, but it's like this is
You should be excited. This is
oh,
exciting.
I know, but it was like I don't want people to think I'm like excited that like they're struggling. I want to be like, "Oh my God, holy shit, you were right the whole time. I just helped you prove it."
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's really what it is, right? It's not like we're excited that the people that we work with are struggling. It's
Right.
we're excited to show them something that's going to change their lives and actually make them feel better. And that's what gets us
Yeah.
super excited.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Now let's spin into one of my other questions that I had written down here is
Sure.
what do you see women struggling with the most these days or right now?
A lot of my clients now, really perimenopause, menopause symptoms, which can be the whole, like a whole laundry list of things, right? But I would say mostly it would be, I would definitely say sleep. And I would say probably weight gain or the lack of being able to lose weight. So when I work with people, and like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I like to be very cognizant about how they're feeling, what kind of medications that they're on, because we do have doctors on our team that I can talk to openly about things. But I like to really see what they're, how I can make it work for them the quickest way possible. I'm not one of those, just get this one thing is going to fix it. It's not, because your body works together and you need to have a specific system in place, right? Definitely sleep, and more so, not that they can't sleep. It's that they have no problem falling asleep. It's the staying asleep, because whatever happens to our brains in the middle of the night, that we're like, oh my God, I wonder if my friend Susie from 2009, like, it still lives in town. Like, why do we even, why? Who's
Right.
Susie? I don't even know if she's alive anymore. Like, I don't even know why. I told my one girlfriend, what I do is I have a whole basket of, we call them socks with no friends. It's basically the socks that you can't find the other pair to, which is a whole nother story. But I leave it there in case I ever do wake up and I can't fall back asleep, because that is the most boring thing to do, is to put socks together. And I purposely leave that basket. I haven't touched the socks are still sitting there because I actually sleep through the night now. But we used to find the pairs of socks because it was very tedious, right? And you just get tired. But a lot of women, that's what they tell me. They're like, I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I don't know why, and I can't get back to sleep. And which obviously creates more problems, because then they're tired the next day. And I think the weight loss thing, a lot of people saw me. I mean, I've lost 25 pounds since last year. And I didn't think I was struggling with weight loss per se. I had like maybe a measly 15 pounds, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I wasn't overweight, but I wasn't 100% happy with myself. Once I started forgetting about the HIIT workouts and trying to sweat it out for an hour and a half, and I just focused on eating a little bit healthier, supplementing, and walking, it like disappeared. I don't know what the heck I was thinking by working out every single day. But now that I've done my research, and you could agree, my cortisol was probably like up here along with my regular stressors. And it's like, no, let's hold on to this fat for a little bit. We might need it. No, I don't
So
need it.
So you're totally right with that, and congrats on the weight loss. So the few things that you just said that I just want to like, sleep is absolutely like the best. If anybody needs like, oh my God, like you need sleep. Like there's just no question about it. Um, but you're right. So when you were talking about like the wake ups at 1, 2 a.m. for no reason, the first thing I was thinking is sugar. Your sugar being off absolutely would do that. And then parasites, believe it or not, wake people up. That's their time to party. So all of the stuff that you've done, it sounds like you've overcome that. So that's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a lot of, like I said, sleepless nights. And I think one of the things that I've spoken about before that I think kind of broke my heart and made me realize I need to do something different was, on the weekends we'd always be really busy, but it's my time to spend with my kids, right? Because I'm not working, and there would be a lot of times where it'd be maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would purposely put on a movie for my little one to just be like, let's watch a movie, knowing full well I wasn't going to watch it. I was just going to pass it on the couch while she watched the movie because I wanted a nap. But one time she was just like, Mommy, can't we just play? Can't you just come and play with me? And it like broke my heart, because it was like, you're right. This is my time to spend with my kids, and I'm sleeping on the couch because I needed a nap. Like, that, it broke my heart. So now they know I'm going to be sledding down the hill when it's snowing out. I'm playing basketball. They're the ones taking the naps on the couch, and I'm like, can we go do something? Like, let's go out and bowling. Let's go do karaoke. Let's go out. Let's go for a run. Like, why is everybody resting? It's midday.
Yeah, right. Oh my. Well, I get that, but at the same time, we also need to know that rest is important.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, absolutely. Oh, awesome. All right. When it comes to women getting things wrong in regards to health and weight loss and wellness and all that kind of stuff, what do you think they're doing now?
I think a lot of people feel like it has to be perfect. It has to be all or nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
And when they get off of that wheel, then they just feel like they can't get back on it. And especially with especially with social media and like, okay, eat more protein, drink more water. We got peptides, we have GLP-1s, this person's doing Botox. Like, we're just fed all of this stuff. And then we're left to be like, well, which one's right? Which one's going to work for me? How do I even feel about it? Right. And what are my friends doing? And you can try so much to be the perfect version of what you think, whatever you think that is, but you're never going to be truly happy if you continue to pick different things and just go all in, because at some point you're going to fail with that, and you have to realize like there's a lot of peace in just finding the right mix and match for yourself and for your family. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I'm a healthy eater, but I'm going to have a brownie. I like working out, but I also like resting on the couch and watching Netflix. That's just life, because then you won't enjoy it if you're stressed out about having your Doritos. I mean, everybody thinks I'm all of a sudden this crunchy mom because I watched Plastic Detox. I'm like, no, I mean, I could try to be, but I'd have to burn my house down. I have too many things in my house that I know are toxic, and I don't know what else to do about it unless I'm making my own stuff, and I don't have time for that either.
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned something about like the wheel being on and off of it, and that's something that I always like to coach with is like we're not falling off any wagons. We're not going to be so restrictive that we have to try to convince ourselves to get back on the wagon, which is so annoying anyways. It's like if you have to be so restrictive, then we need to be working on some mindset stuff to begin with because that is not healthy way of life. Like there's no like totally with you. Like if you want the brownie, eat the brownie. Like you're actually doing more harm with the internal stress of beating yourself up, whether not eating the brownie, thinking about the brownie, talking about the brownie. Like it's actually like creating a stress cycle within that is actually like really freaking annoying. So,
Yeah, and
um,
then you're in the closet at night eating like 12 of the brownies when you could have just had one. And you're like, I hope nobody opens up this door. Let
right?
me just
Oh,
shove it
yeah.
in.
No, totally. Yeah. Wow. That was an interesting one. But yeah, I see women doing a lot of what you just talked about, like going all in. And I've had many conversations lately about the GLP-1s. Now, and I am very on the fence about it, and that we could like go down this rabbit hole about them. But I don't know, like I understand that they are, people need some people absolutely need them, some people absolutely like, you know, for medical reasons they could absolutely benefit from them. And then there's the people that are going to take them, but they haven't done the work that goes with them. So my question then for them would be is what happens when you stop taking them?
Hmm.
And and then if that's the case, what is different from a GLP-1 than the Atkins diet, than Weight Watchers and the 21-day cup thing or whatever? And then like what is the difference between all of those? And that's where I kind of like cycle and like spin like my toilet my brain just keeps flushing with like questions and concerns and it's like I mean, what's the difference between doing bariatric surgery and GLP-1? But now in the hospital, I'm seeing patients who have done both and or are on GLP-1. So they've had bariatric surgery, now they're on GLP-1. Like, what kind of education have we done for these people?
Right. And I mean, I think it's very important that we have education for those people, because a lot of the people that I speak to, I do have friends that are on GLP-1s, and then I just have people that I randomly hear talking about them. And what I usually hear is, well, I'll be on it for life. I don't have that kind of motivation to stick to a diet or to stick to being healthy or I'm like, and I did a video on this too, that's calling it a stage 5 clinger. Basically, you expect it to be there all the time, and you're never going to be able to get rid of it if you're not the stage 5 clinger. It really
Oh
will.
my God,
It
I've never
really
heard
is.
that before.
It really is, right? Because like it's gonna still be there. It's gonna still be there knocking on your door, like, hey, you need me, because you don't have any kind of consistency. And that is, because some people say I don't have the motivation. It doesn't really come to motivation. It comes with consistency. And once again, people make put their health working out all the way up here. Like I have to do it perfect. I have to do 40 minutes. I have to. No, you don't. If you do 10 minutes every day, that's better than you sitting on the couch doing nothing. And the more you do that, the easier it becomes and becomes like second nature. And that's what you need. If you don't have the building blocks to be healthier, the GLP-1 will be your stage 5 clinger and you're going to have to rely on it all the time.
Uh,
That scares the crap out of me.
yeah,
Honestly, like I said, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti, like, do you, boo, like whatever works for you. But for me, like that, it's scary to hear that people are okay with just putting something in their body. I mean, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm losing weight.
right. Yeah,
And now they're making it into pill form. So how much easier is it to get the people who are afraid of injecting themselves with something to just take a pill?
right.
Unfortunately, being in, like I said, being in a school district, we've seen our prescription costs increase exponentially because so many people are on the GLP-1s. And you can't tell me that all of those people are suffering from obesity and diabetes. They're not, because I've seen them.
No, I don't know about you, but I can't believe the amount of influencers I have seen, and not just influencers. I mean, there's people in our circle who have clearly come out recently who are of a natural within normal limit, like weight and body shape, who are taking them, but they're taking them for food noise now. Which to me, it's like, well, what happens when you stop? What's going to happen to the food? So yes, you have relief now, and I'm grateful that you have relief now. But that mental chatter is going to come back as soon as you're done. So, like, what's the purpose of that now?
I'm one of those people that are like, I'm just going to sit back and eat my popcorn and see how this all, like, just like with COVID, I was like, I'm going to sit back and see how this works out. Somebody might end up with like a leg or something coming out of their, I don't know. Let me see how this turns out. I don't know. I
Ah,
don't know how this is going to turn out with the GLP-1s. I'm hoping, but like I said, I've seen people complaining like that they have gallbladder issues now and pancreas issues. And that scares me because that's like permanent stuff.
but that's the thing is like if they had addressed those things before, then I mean, there's people who are on those things now that it's not working for them because they're not addressing the underlying thing now. There's tons of people with gallbladder issues that are having that right upper quad pain, right underneath that right breast, or even radiating to their left shoulder. So they're having these pains now, but instead of addressing them just by taking, some supplements just to help get your bile moving, or even just drinking lemon water in the morning. Hello,
Mhm.
like that would help your bile in the first place. So it's yes, totally. We went on a wicked tangent here, but I think it was really needed. But yes, you're absolutely right. Like there is so much that can be done to help and to, before jumping to those things. Absolutely.
And I think there needs to just be a lot more conversation with those doctors and those patients to say, hey, these are the things you need to work on before you even start this. I
Right.
want you to work on your diet. I want you to work on your exercise and come back to me in 6 months or come back to me in whatever, 5 months, whatever it is, right? And what I've been finding is a lot of companies are now making it like mandatory that they go see a nutritionist first before they go on those. And I'm huge supporter of that because I feel like that's the ultimate goal, right? The ultimate goal is to have somebody who is healthy, regardless. That's what we want to do. And
Right.
you see all these not only for GLP-1s, but just regular, medication commercials. And what do we have? You might have anal leakage, you might have blah blah blah. No, I'm fine. I'll deal with my eczema. Thanks. Like I don't want to deal with any of those side effects. Possibly, it's worse. It's worse than
Oh,
what I'm dealing with.
oh my
Like
God. It's so funny that you just said anal leakage because I actually wrote that in my email this week.
I'm
So I
looking
guess
through
it's
your
a
stuff.
trend.
I'm looking through your stuff already.
Oh my God, that is so funny that they came up twice this week. Oh my God, that's not funny, but funny.
See, this is
Um,
why we're friends now.
yeah, right. So I was a COVID nurse, so that's where a lot of
You
my
had to deal with a lot of that, like just at wow. So how long were you dealing with that? I mean, it was such a long time.
so I was working outpatient doing the wellness visits when COVID hit. So they canceled my schedule and they took they told me that I could keep my job, but I'd have to drive up to the hospital and I'd have to, which is 45, 50 minutes away. I would have to sit in this room with another nurse and I'd have to triage. And I did that for maybe 4 or 5 months. I couldn't do it anymore. They literally stuck us in like a closet. Like it was so tiny. There was a computer here and a computer here. We're both really loud trying to talk to these deaf people on the phone, trying to figure out if they have COVID or not. So I said the hell with it, and I actually went back inpatient. So that was early 2021 that I went back inpatient, and I joined the float pool because I was a med surg nurse before being outpatient, and I just had a lot of anxiety about being floated. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna become a float nurse, and I would just get floated anyways.
Right.
Perfect. I won't have the anxiety of not knowing where I'm going all the time. So I did that, but at that time, the COVID, the float nurses were staffing COVID. So I did that for about 2.5 years. And then
A
I
long
went,
time. That's
yeah,
a
and
long
then I,
time.
yeah, and then I went per diem, and I'm like, I needed a break, so I'm picking and choosing. Plus the fact I'm coaching now, so I needed to. But the heartache and the scary things that I saw during COVID, like when people bring up COVID and they start like anti-vaxxing and talking about things, I'm like, time out. I'm like, I'm a COVID nurse. Let's not go there because I will,
No,
I
no,
will.
no. And I completely understand. I mean, that's why I love these conversations because you can have those different opinions and perspectives about things and be able to be just open and honest about it because I had nurses who worked in during that time and nurses that either had to or quit because they didn't want to or whatever and like those were everybody's decisions, right? And how did that affect certain people, right? Maybe they lost their jobs, maybe they were in the hospitals seeing all that go down. Like I said, like for me, when my father was diagnosed with cancer, it was during COVID, right? So he couldn't get
Yeah,
any of his treatments unless he got the vaccination. That was you could not go into the hospital without it.
yeah,
So what was he going to do, right? Like what was he going to do? Choose not to, or it was a very difficult decision for him. And what made it even worse is we had no idea he had cancer. So he was off just getting chemo and never told us until like 3 rounds later. And I'm like, why didn't you tell us
oh
this?
no, I'm sorry, buddy.
Very quiet parents that I had. But that's why these conversations, these live, chats, I think are really important because we can still feel very strongly about things differently and still agree that like
Yeah.
nobody's wrong in their thinking per se, right? Like we're allowed to have opinions and we can also still get along,
That's
like
totally true. Totally true. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
you're like, I like my stage 5 Klinger GLP-1, whatever, Jess.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I don't, but okay. And when you were talking about the last thing a little bit about the GLP-1s before we went down the COVID rabbit hole, there is so many people who every time like people come up with like their thoughts or their opinions about it, people are like, well, that's your opinion, but that's also like you're shaming me for doing it. It's like, well, no, no, I can have an opinion without shaming you. So it's however you're internalizing it, that's on you. So it's definitely there's like some stigma conversations going on with it now as well. And it's like, so really we have this medicine that's working for you and that you're going to have to be on it for the rest of your life or you're going to do all this other stuff to help take care of yourself. Like it's like there is it going to fall in the category of high blood pressure medicine? Like is that going to be like the avenue of it? You're just going to take it forever? So I don't know. Like there's my brain keeps spinning back and forth. I mean, it works for some people. It's keeping some people out of the hospital, which reminds me, when you were talking about your shoulder earlier, very early, and you said you were terrified of the hospital, you absolutely should be. Okay, the place is disgusting. I'm sorry, I work there. I'm working at 12 tomorrow, but I don't wear my shoes into the house. I change my shoes in my car before going into my house. I go to the bathroom and I shower. And I put on like comfy clothes before I greet my family because it's disgusting. Like, yes,
Yeah.
you're there to get better, But do you have any idea how many chemicals I'm exposed to all day long? How many patients I'm exposed to and whatever they've got going on? It's like, oh, like yes,
Right.
yes, we need our Western medicine, but God, I wish we could do it in a cleaner fashion. So that's
Yeah, and
my
I honestly,
soapbox for today.
I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people when I talk about, my normal blood work and all this stuff, they tend to think that like I'm anti-doctor, and I'm not. There's a place for medicine, 100%.
Absolutely.
But for me, I think what scared me the most was right before I was introduced to this company, um, I had like 105 fever
Oh, shit.
for like days, like 3 days. And it wasn't until maybe the third day that I really started getting really lethargic, because I'm one of those people like don't medicate the symptom, medicate the person, right? So I wasn't, and I don't take medication really. So I was waiting, and then all of a sudden, like, it was just intense pain, and I looked like I was 5 months pregnant. My husband's like, we gotta do something. This isn't normal. Like, you're not eating, you're exhausted. I went to the doctor. The doctor was like, "You might have an appendicitis." And I freaked out because I'm like, well, that means I have to be cut open and be in the hospital. I don't want anything to do with that. Like, isn't there like something I can eat out in the woods or something that'll help me? No,
Mushroom.
no, no. Go to the doctor. And I just remember going outside and telling my husband, listen, the doctor said you have to go to the hospital. So he takes me to the hospital. They ran so many tests, Nikki, like so many blood tests, so many scans. I was there until 2 o'clock in the morning. It was like 4 hours. My sister had to watch my little ones. And they came into the room, and I was waiting for them to tell me that I had a blockage and they were going to have to do surgery. The worst thing they could have told me happened. They came in and said, you're fine.
Oh yeah.
Your blood work is fine. We don't see a blockage. And they sent me on my way. They sent me back home. I still had another fever for another like 2 days. And eventually, the bloating magically went away and I started feeling better, but I didn't get answers. And that's the scariest thing. The
Mhm.
scariest thing is being told you're fine and you know that you're not, and nobody has an answer for you. I would have much rather them told me I had a tumor or I had carrots stuck in some random spot in my body. Like, I didn't get an answer. And I told my husband, I'm like, that's what scares me. I don't want to ever not get an answer. I want to be able to now feel my best because I don't ever want to be put in that situation again where nobody has an answer for me, because that's scary. It scares me more than them telling me I have something, or they have to remove something. It was such a surreal feeling. And at the same time, I didn't talk to really anybody about what I was going through. It just so happens my friend called me and was like, oh, would you like to try blah, blah, blah? And I was literally doing my friend a favor. I'm like, all right, you're going to get some commission. All right, give me your superfruit, whatever the hell you need me to drink. And in 3 days, I was a completely different person. And my husband's looking at me like, you're sleeping through the night. You feel great. You like, and within a week, my shoulder pain was gone. I'm like, oh, this works.
Yeah.
And a light bulb went off, and I'm like, oh my God, if I can feel great, then I don't have to worry about going to the doctor again, and him telling me I have everything like perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's true though. I mean, I think if you come down to the like basics of everything that we're trying to do is we want everybody to be healthy and happy and to stay the hell out of the doctor's office. And not because Western medicine is bad, but because if you're doing what you can to take care of yourself, you're eating well, you're exercising, you're supplementing where needed, you're doing the mind work, you're resting, you're sleeping, you're doing all of that stuff, then you won't need to go as frequently for maybe you just do your annuals and just have your blood work done and you get a clean bill of health. I mean, that is ultimately, I think, what we're both striving for is just to help people stay out of those places unless it's absolutely necessary.
so how have you been feeling like yourself? You told me that you're struggling with brain fog a little bit. So seeing as how you can do your own tests and everything, what's going on inside you that's giving you
Oh,
your brain fog?
that would be perimenopause. Yeah, that shit is evil. Yeah, no, I did tons of testing on myself because I needed to be able to learn how to do it. I needed to be able to read the results and that kind of stuff. So between, fixing my minerals, fixing my gut, and then just having the perimenopause hit. So my perimenopause hit, it might be a little too personal, and I don't know how much more time you have, but in 2020, Um, I had an ablation. I had the uterine ablation done because my periods were just fucking awful. I literally had like maybe 4 good days of the month. Either I was about to get my period, felt like I was gonna get my period, or I just had my period for like weeks on end. So and of course they're just like, oh, here, have some birth control, have some birth control. I'm like, I don't need birth control, please, thank you. Like, I may be super healthy now, but I smoked when I was younger. I'm like, I don't want a blood clot. I know my risks. And I'm like, no, like, anyway, so they're like, oh, well, then do this. I'm like, fine, if that's what you think we need to do. So I did it, and I was worse after. I was
Really?
after an ablation, you're not supposed to bleed. So now I do, and I have the pain that goes with it that feels like I'm trapped. It feels like the blood is trapped in my lining. And it is uncomfortable, and it is painful, and it is horrible. And what they don't tell you, and there's not much proof of it, but when you burn the inside of your lining, it fucks with your hormones. And there's no proof because nobody ever wants to study women because we're too variable, which is just so annoying.
We're
Do
so
you
complicated.
do you know that, like, you and your husband could go into the ER for the same damn reason? Like, you both broke your right arm, both broke identical, right? He will get more pain meds than you. It's just out of fact. Like, men get treated more than women do when it comes to pain. Oh God, have you seen the heart attack stuff going around Instagram lately? And people
No.
with the watermelon thing is it's for heart awareness and that kind of stuff. But women's heart attacks, we appear different than a man's. So two people could walk into the ER and he'll get treated before her. Like, it is ridiculous. Anyways, I just spiraled there again. So I have been struggling with my hormones and have had this decline since 2020. And I finally started HRT this month. And I was fighting, kicking, screaming, doing it the whole time because, like, I'm not well, I'm not well, this is what's going on. I stopped sweating, I stopped sleeping, I stopped building muscle. Like, I just, being able to digest my food, like, have regular daily bowel movements, like, nothing was going well for me for the last 6 years.
Well, and that's a struggle when that's what you do for other people is help them do that. And you're like, but I can't even help myself. And then it
I,
gives you like that self-doubt on like, well, how can I help others if I can't even help myself? Like
yeah.
this is what I do on a daily
Yeah,
basis.
yeah, absolutely. And then to be, working in the medical field and not get the support and not get the answers. So it was like a double whammy for me, like, because I like live and breathe. I love being a nurse. Like, I absolutely love being a nurse, but I also love being a coach. Like, I love having the conversation with people and like being like hearing them light up because, they fit into a pair of jeans or that they were in for a bike ride. Like, they hadn't gotten on a bike in years, and all of a sudden, like, shit, I want to get on a bike. It's like, you go, girl, just put your helmet on, like, I love those kind of conversations. So yeah, so it's just like helping people, just point them in the right direction. But you're totally right, like, it was a struggle for me, for real. Like, it was a lot, but I'm on the mend, I'm getting better, but it's been terrifying at times. There's been times that I'm wondering, like, do I have dementia? Like, oh my God, like, today, this is impressive. Like, I've kept the conversation going. There's been times like it's just not good.
It's dead air.
Yeah, no, it definitely could be, but no, things are definitely much better. So, but now I'm excited to be helping other people do it. I'm happy to be testing. I love to be a nerd. I love to look at test results, and I love to like see patterns and like look at someone's history and be like, oh, I can see where things changed. So yeah, there's a lot of awesomeness with that. So yeah.
That's how all my nurse friends are. They're all my little nerds that I love, and they're always telling me all this nursing stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, I love it, but I don't understand it. And then I go and tell them all my, business stuff, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think that's one of my best skills as a nurse is to take something very clinically heavy and break it down into I love to describe someone's lungs as upside down trees. Because if you think about, like you've got your branches and then you've got your little leaves off to the side, and those would be your alveoli. So if you're in the hospital and you've got pneumonia, like we need to pop open those leaves and get those things moving to get the junk out. People are like, I get it now. And it's like, that's because we just need to break it down. It's like, digest it. I mean, like, that's how I had to learn. I mean, it wasn't easy for me. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just one example. So, I don't know.
Wow.
I
That's awesome.
don't, I don't know. So, how do you want to wrap up? What's one thing you want to share with people before we end for today?
Well, I'm glad that we were able to do this.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to just have the open conversations with people, and for people just to kind of take the time to listen, because even though it might seem like frou frou, or like we're stewing, like we're doing some witch's brew or whatever, like that's no different than anybody else talking about peptides, right? Like we're all trying to feel our best and to give people options, right? That's really what we're doing, is having the conversation to say there's other options besides something else that you might have heard about. And I think it's just really important for us to be vocal about it and to embrace it, because life is short. I should know that. Like I said, by losing the four biggest cheerleaders in my life, life is short, and like you just want to enjoy it. So why not feel our best and help others feel their best so that they can enjoy their lives as well? And I think connecting like this is really, really important. Social is so important, I think. And I think a lot of people look at social media in such a negative aspect, but I'm always the type of person that I will pick up the phone and talk to a complete stranger. I have no problem with it. I have a group of 20 people that are all international from a karaoke app that we did during COVID. We talk to each other every day. We send dark, memes, dark humor memes to each other. Two of them got married. We were at the wedding on FaceTime. Like, that's the kind of person I am. Like,
Love that.
it allows you to reach so many more people than just your circle that you have, or that I have here in New Jersey. We're able to have this conversation. And like I said, I have clients that found me on Instagram in New Zealand, and I talk to them all the time now. But I think it's so important to view social as a way to open up and to reach the masses, and to not be afraid of posting your silly video, or posting your opinion on something, because you never know who might need to hear that.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have more than you know X amount of followers, so we can go on live Instagram.
Yeah,
That's going to
right.
be us next month, girl. We're going to be on live on
All right.
Instagram.
Game on.
Guaranteed. Game on.
Game on. Yes. Oh my God. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jess. I really enjoyed this, and I so look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much too. I had a great time.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna